So these are the Barefoot company Free Your Feet or FYF socks. They're a bit difficult to describe because they're not quite shoes and they're not quite socks. And obviously I've mainly used them as a kind of runner or hiker or person that does water sports, but I thought I'd walk you through what they're like. They're made of a fabric called Dyneema, which is a little bit like Kevlar in that it's super strong. It's very resistant to abrasion or anything. So for example, when I went out and did a run in these, I actually ran along the beach and I actually deliberately ran across some broken glass, and the glass didn't go through, and in fact it didn't even cut the fabric. So they're super strong. So you should start by thinking of them as a kind of super strong toe sock, but they're more than that. It's hard to show on a video, but on the underside, I'm going to zoom in, you can see the undersides of these socks have, you can probably just about see the effect, maybe you can't, but they've got a silicone coating or a kind of rubberized coating, so the underside have quite a lot more grip than you'd expect them to have. So they grip like a shoe, but obviously they feel like a sock. Running in them is actually quite good fun. It's great for something like running on the beach, and it's good for short distance runs, mainly off-road I would say, and sort of walking off-road as well. I think when you walk on asphalt or tarmac or a sidewalk, there's a chance that your feet will start to feel quite hot quite quickly. The friction of you putting your foot down each time makes them feel quite warm. So this is more of the sort of thing that you do when you're doing quote unquote the outdoors, when you're out on trails and that kind of thing. I also recently spent the weekend at a kind of place that had lakes and water sports and trail hikes and that kind of thing, and it was perfect for that too. So climbing in and out of canoes, getting wet feet, that kind of thing, it was kind of perfect for that as well. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what they're great for. I wouldn't do long distance runs in these, just because I think you do need protection under your arches for things like rocks, particularly when you're in the US, and I don't think you should do, long distance running is kind of a no-no, but these are great fun for kind of short distance runs along the beaches and just a gentle walks in the woods. And when you're doing sort of activities all day, like where you're jumping in and out of canoes, or your feet might be wet and then they're dry and that kind of thing, and they're very comfortable. Although the Dyneema material is super strong and resistant to abrasions and cuts, it's also got a very low coefficient of friction. That sounds very sciencey, and it is, but what it means is you're very unlikely to get blisters and stuff in this sock as well, because you can see how well it fits. There's very little rubbing, so again, you don't get much chance of it causing blisters and that kind of thing. Final top tip when you're putting these on, they're quite hard work to put on. So my recommendation is when you put them on is to roll these all the way up to almost about here, and then pull them on from there. Put your fingers into all of the toe bits, make sure your toes are all lined up, and then pull hard by having everything rolled up from here, and then roll it back up on your foot. Don't try to pull them on from this end, it takes forever. So that's a top little tip as well. But all in all, these are great fun. You're going to need to wash them quite gently on quite low temperatures. I wouldn't tumble dry them. I wouldn't use anything harsh like fabric conditioner either. I would just gently almost hand wash these, or put them on a very gentle wash on the washing machine. But I've had these nearly a year now, and they still look great. So there you go, that's the Barefoot Company's Free Your Feet or FYF socks slash sort of toey shoes almost, but predominantly socks.